conscious vibes only to the fullest. Today we have in our studio El Shaddai and Sebastian.
Yeah.
Normally our producer, but today he decided to join in because obviously to me Deborah is not here today. Shout out to me wherever you are.
Shout out to me, Charlie.
To me.
Shout out to you.
We are going to talk about habits that promote self-esteem and confidence. What are the things that you can do to promote your self-confidence? What are the things that you can do to promote your self-esteem? Today, those are the stuff we are going to break down and share our new experiences, personal experiences on how we have built our own individual self-esteem and confidence. So today, my first question will be gearing towards Sebastian. So, what are some of the things that you do to promote your self-esteem?
The things I do to promote my self-esteem is first of all have a self-belief. Believing in myself and whatever that I think of myself, my my strongholds. What makes me feel whole again is the thing that I think about. That gives me my self-confidence.
When you say whole as in how whole?
Something okay. My self-confidence is driven by passion and love. The thing that I have passion for, the thing that I have love for. And if I think about these things and I meditate on them, it gives me an idea of my purpose. It gives me a sense of self. You understand me? So love and the passion that I have for things that are around me, it gives me a real good self-esteem. Yeah.
In a nutshell, you are saying that purpose gives you a representation of yourself,
Yeah.
and that self makes you build your self-esteem and your
Yes.
confidence.
Yes.
That's actually a really nice explanation.
Yes.
You people, Sebastian didn't come to play. So yes, I'm going towards L again.
Yeah.
Same question.
Oh, okay.
What are some of the things you do to boost your self-esteem?
With the self-esteem, it's a self thing.
Yeah.
So you knowing about yourself in the first place will help you be more confident in yourself.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you knowing about your whole human makeup, your whole purpose, just like Sebastian, your whole purpose for yourself, knowing that you are not just who you think you are more greater than. If you are working safe, you feel good. Even in bad days, you feel good about yourself, knowing that maybe something. So always getting to know about yourself is just what makes.
So, like shedding more light on this conversation, what are some of the habits? Like what are the things you need to do that promotes your self-esteem? Now we have had an understanding that self-confidence is driven by self-esteem or confidence is driven by yourself. So everything is within. That's what we have come to understand. So what are some of the things an individual can do to promote their own, esteem?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have purpose, you have all this stuff that you guys are talking about, but you can't
Sure.
find the drive, you can't find the, get to something to boost you to wake up or all those stuff. So what do you do then to, promote that stay? So talking about some of the habits that promote self-esteem and self-confidence, I'd like to share more light on uh, accepting compliments, and praises. People don't really know how to accept compliments. And I strongly believe like that is one of the fundamental stages of being able to have self-confidence. Because if in whatever state or shape your body or your mind is in, if somebody says something nice and you are not able to accept it for what it is, I feel like you are really in a challenging situation with yourself. What I say,
For real.
because you are looking good, you put in an effort to look a type of way. Then you meet someone and the person compliments you and you be like, no, I don't even look like that. That means you have a problem.
With yourself.
Yeah, you should be able to accept a compliment. You should be willing, open to accept a compliment. And I feel like that's one of the important reasons to promoting self-esteem and self-confidence. I like to, chip in my guests to also come through and give me some points.
With the accepting praises, you see that be the same thing I talk about the knowing yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't know you are beautiful, you don't tell yourself you are beautiful, and someone sees you outside and be like, you are looking good. Oh, Charlie, when you feel, eh, like, eh. That rejection alone,
Yeah.
it be conflicting with themselves, Oh, Charlie, sorry.
And the sad thing is, one thing that most of the boys that nowadays when we see each other, we want to fight for each other.
Yeah, they're
Yo,
food,
chairman.
yeah.
Oh no, you be the chairman.
Yeah.
Oh boss, no, you be the boss.
You see, you,
You know, lately.
yes, Charlie.
Yeah.
Shady works, and as a person too, if you study get yourself to know yourself more, you know that you should not compare yourself to anyone.
Mm.
That one to the help they build your self-esteem. Wow. Very, 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 very important. If you dare they talk the chairman boss who matter say Charlie. Yeah, it be very important. Somebody will see you then be like, oh, you are doing really good, but just compare yourself to someone else's situation.
Yeah.
Go make you feel like all your efforts be zero,
You know,
worthless. Or
yeah.
you understand? So Charlie, comparison, they say it's a thief of joy.
True that.
Yeah, comparison is a thief of joy. You see, be the way you did, how you see yourself, be how you did, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So comparing, yeah, it won't help you get anywhere.
Yeah.
As a person trying to build your self-esteem.
If I may add this to and even if you have an idea of who you are, self, if you have a right focus on your strength as you are moving at life too, it's going to also boost your self confidence and esteem. You know, if say unim way yeah, the only me and the fan holding shame. Then trust the only me so the trust we weak. You know, a trust be what you for. So if you're able to accept compliments and you're also able to identify the things that you are good at that you're accepting the compliment for. I think there are a few episodes, I think last two episodes, Edna was talking about how when you try to take a skill in life, let's say Adibio Wakuma, so it's something you are passionate about. And when you are in line with that particular purpose, they attract certain people. So it is a you have those compliments coming in, it gives you an attention to your strength. So if you have that strength, it gives you an idea that okay, the year say no, I go for feel power. Then make us side. Now my side the crown, and it also boosts your self-esteem and confidence. Yeah.
True.
On top of what Sebastian said, you have to be able to find your strength. That is what he's saying. When you find your strength, then you invest in your strength. And in investing in your strength, in accepting compliments, in stop comparing yourself to others, I'd like to add that you should celebrate the little progress.
True.
You know, those are one of the things that we refuse to do. We always want a bigger break before we celebrate the things, and it leaves us depressed because we want to be able to be happy about the little things that we have. But if our happiness is not in little things, then where do we find our esteem?
Progress is small
You
one no
know,
deal.
small progress. If you acquire any little thing, if you have a room you got and you're able to get a fan, or make a fan get one on the way anymore, and you're able to sleep and feel good,
Yeah.
celebrate that progress.
True.
You know, it's the little things. Nobody would be happy to celebrate your progress with you. You know how hard you had to go to get what you have acquired. And if you had gone hard to acquire something, you should be at least have a grateful heart to appreciate that. That's the only way it opens way for more blessings. And a grateful heart is a happy heart. And when you're a happy person, you have self-esteem and self-confidence.
Self-esteem.
Yeah, it's easier like that. And I would like to add another point. You'd have to be able to accept your flaws.
Just as your
know,
strength.
yeah.
Yes, that's your strength.
We are so hard on ourselves, very, very hard on ourselves, especially as younger generations, like conscious people around the world. You know, as soon as we gain consciousness or as soon as we are open to certain awareness, when we make mistakes, we get so beat up. But we forget the part that before we were conscious, we were humans. You know, mistakes are part of everything that we do. Mistakes lead us to a higher consciousness. If you are not making mistakes, you are not growing. So I would like to say that you should be able to accept your flaws real quickly. Don't wait for someone to tell you that, just, get out of it. It's fine. It's going to be okay. Learn to pick yourself up from your flaws and accept it. When you own it, nobody can use it against you. Take this from me.
Okay.
Own
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So, like, yeah. Do you guys have any additions?
Yeah, and there are certain practices that you have to also be doing as a person who has an idea of what to do to boost your self-esteem and confidence, and that is actually being able to make deliberate decisions when you're at life. You understand me? Be very intentional about the things you do. Man, kase me feel listen me na me you have to know what you are doing. You have to be deliberate. What's around up? You are not working. You are going to have like more than 5 hours of the day to yourself doing nothing. You understand me? The internet is very helpful to you. So you have to be deliberate. Find certain things. Go to YouTube. How do we do this? How do we do that? You have to be deliberate and intentional about how you make use of your time. You go to a time when I wanted to do videography. I unfollowed so many people and I started following things that's going to create that environment for me. So when I'm on Instagram, if it's not conscious vibe that I'm seeing videography.
Yeah.
If I'm on Facebook, if it's not conscious vibe that I'm seeing videography or funny videos. Be able to control that world for yourself. It gives
real.
you,
For real.
because you may think it's just a phone that you are using, but you know certain things that you don't know yet.
For real. For
you
real.
know,
For real.
there are so many things that you're not aware until
Mm.
something happens. You realize that hey, Timmy akola ne kra ebonyi mre kana minti oba na omitrim. You subconsciously learn it. It's like walking on the street and you see billboards there, like MTN billboards bear 15, and you are not watching the billboard, but because they are constantly showing on the road, when they ask you what's the color of MTN logo, you just say red and you just say yellow and black. Your subconscious has picked it, but you are not aware you have picked it. So you have to be very deliberate with your decision making. Who said the awoye no ebefa impunto in our brabo. But man kase God make things happen, but we make things happen through him too. So the effort starts from you and the presence of God will take control. Like I said earlier too, warfare, spiritual warfare. If you don't have a spiritual background or have an idea of what happens up before this physical world, you may doing this like we want to say inflammation away. It's not really hitting the core. So yeah, I think it's one of the things that I can also add to it. Being
Thank
deliberate
you so
about
much.
decisions.
That's actually a very solid point, my viewers, followers, and everybody listening to this podcast right now. It is one of the most underestimated things, but being deliberate about your making boost your confidence in a way that makes you feel like you can trust yourself enough.
No.
I mean, if you make a decision and you go by it, if you say, oh, I'm going to show up at 6 o'clock, I'm
Yeah.
going to show up at 10 o'clock, and you diligently, make sure you come at that particular time. It boosts your self-esteem. People come and meet you there, and you feel like, oh, I made it. They
Yeah.
congratulate you for being that conscious about, being deliberate about your
It's even
decision.
a God move to
It's
say something and make it
Act
happen.
on it.
Yes.
That's a God,
Yes,
like
so-
always making God moves like that.
Exactly.
Always, Charlie.
So if you're able
Hey,
to
You live
continually,
by your word.
yes, live by your
You
word,
easily
Yeah.
become a God.
it makes you confident.
Oh.
It's like,
Yeah.
if I can say it and I can do it, why not? It's a God factor. Yeah. So moving forward, one of the things that I would like to also chip in is that as a conscious person trying to move forward in life, try to lean on your positive sides. Don't give too much attention to your weakness. Weakness will fade, weakness will come and go. But if you lean into weakness, you become it. You want to be strong, you want to move ahead, you don't want to be stuck. And some of the things that helps you, become such an individual is to be part of the society that enjoy problem solving. People who always want to come up with solutions, people who always want to,
Yeah.
solve a problem, basically. If there is something that is being talked about so many times in society and you feel like you are talented, you are creative enough, you know how, try and find a medium, because we want to reach a bigger crowd about the knowledge that we've acquired as youth. That is why we created this Conscious Vibes platform. If you have an idea of anything that can solve a problem, be sure to reach out to a trillion amount of people. Knowledge is not best kept to ourselves. Knowledge is best shared. So be part of the problem solving community, as a youth, as an old person, as a learned person, as an educated person, as any type of individual, as an indigenous. If you find yourself in that range, already you have built a confidence factor. All you need to do is to be able to teach others, for others to teach others, for it to reach, a maximum audience. So yeah, I'll just tune it back to my
Preaching.
That's good.
Preaching.
That's good. That's some good points. Human race, whether black or white, is a human race. And apart from even being a human race, it is a sense of godliness, to be able to put life into things. What you say, if you have a phone, you can do certain tricks with your phone. Couple small boys go area on a bicycle, have some videos, share those things with them. You don't know how things work, Everything you want is around you. So if you're able to expose yourself the more, to keep giving, because if you don't give, God is not going to give anything to hold.
Right.
You understand me? God don't want to give you 10,000 and come back and see 10,000. No. He wants to see the life out of the 10,000. So make life with what you have inside of you. Because the very essence of our purpose is to give life. So if we have a body and we have a soul, you should know there is something going on. So there is a soul purpose and there is a personal purpose. Doing for community is for the soul. Because it spreads out what? Life around. Doing for yourself, it is limited. You understand me? Even though you have done the work on yourself, it doesn't end up being for yourself only.
Right.
It's for the world to share.
Yeah.
And that's how you can blow. Yeah.
Plop, 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 plop.
Yeah.
And with the self-esteem thing, I would like to go back to the self-esteem thing. Make we just open them small, then we see. Because with self-esteem, the word itself is even self-explaining. Self again. And you see, knowing about who you are. You see, that's the first part of the word we are talking, self-esteem. Self, knowing who you are, knowing that, oh, okay, me Kwame, I'm this. This is who I'm supposed to be. This is what I can do. This is what I'm not able to do. And these are my limits, or these are what I'm aiming for. So just put those things in front of you, and with that you can be able to navigate through with the knowledge that you get. That's why Epide had to say you for add up with new skills and learning always to build up yourself, because that's what will make you stand out always when you're outside. Even when you are there and you don't have anything on you, the power of your knowledge, what you can do.
Yes.
You'll always be okay.
Yes.
That's the self-esteem we are here talking about.
Yeah.
Because Charlie, everything where you go do be last you go and sleep alone. You understand? You are going to be by yourself at a particular time.
Yeah.
Even when you have 10,000 people around you, at the end you are going to be by yourself. So you should build up your mind inside first before you bring it outside.
Yeah.
That be the truth of everything. For build inside your mind inside first. So say, oh, me, I be indestructible. Sometimes able to realize yourself, say, even in a dark room, your light alone self go make the whole place light up.
Yeah.
If you feel build your self-esteem in that order, with these few points we share with you, like building good habits with yourself, stop comparing yourself with others.
Yeah.
You understand? No judgments.
Even
Learning new skills with yourself.
Yeah. Not to catch you. Okay. Even the Bible says, and there's a sense of self that tells you that one, oh yes, as two, will be free. Heaven be woman was as your friend Jesus Christ. Or so the moja in the woman, and the moja we in a womb. So if you sit down, which kind of self are you choosing? Jesus Christ came, he didn't come for his family. Even Judas was his uncle. And he sold him out. He's the first real estate developer because he sold Jesus Christ for a land.
Allah.
So he's self-centered. That is the point I'm trying to make. So I say it is not new. Jesus Christ is the most rejected person in the world. Even before he was born, the father that already rejected him. So if you think of yourself of what your family is, you were born, and all of that, it contributes to who you really are, but it's not who you are.
You understand?
You understand me?
Yeah.
Who you are is more than just what you see. So if you see that, yes, then now.
What do you know?
So also around upon us a commodore. Say who aduane krapa unim say na aduane krapa yi di krapa be ne wo. Nti e come na do no kodi aduane krapa be manaso.
God is trying to save
Everything
humanity.
is just, everything God is asking us to do is bringing us back to what we should do to help ourselves from this world polluting us. So a sense of self is a broad topic that it takes you out of your comfort zone. Take it or leave it.
We started from the street, ended up at the church. We always end up at church anyway.
Yeah.
So what Sebastian is trying to say is that in as much as we are giving you all these factors and all these points, we should know that before all these workouts, accept yourself, don't judge others, accept compliments. Unim de oye wera di moi. Yeah, kaka hunibonti asi.
You are lost.
No.
That's fact.
That's knowing yourself.
That's knowing yourself.
Unim. You understand?
Yeah, dada mo.
Yeah.
Yeah, can kwesiane say. You can't feel this stuff that you are talking about.
No.
Because some people have not worked out and they have confidence that will bust your brain.
Yeah.
We have so many people like that. Say, this person is not my caliber, it's not my level. But they walked up to you to approach you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the self-confidence they have within themselves.
Yeah.
Saying, so then now, that's the kind of knowledge you are trying to impact on this podcast. Know your self-worth. It's not about preaching to you, it's about telling you what fact is. If you don't know God, if you don't know Christ for yourself, if you don't read your Bible, if you don't fast, if you don't do spiritual warfare, if you don't attach a church, if you are not in a congregation, if you are not doing things that wake the spirit up, you feel worthless of yourself. Yeah. And your podcast when the courage that you need to live this life. And I'm telling you, you might skip this podcast because you feel that this feels a little, like more like passion. But that's the truth.
Straight facts.
Yes, I'd rather watch a podcast that would, engage my spirit man than a podcast talking about,
so the things
sex
that
and all those stuff, all the things that you like to listen to.
Yeah.
This is a podcast talking to what your soul needs to know and what your soul has to do. Please, my dear followers, my dear fans, our dear people, conscious vibes only, everybody who is ever going to come across this video, the message is Jesus is King. And if you accept him, you get all things through Christ who strengthens you.
And I want to add something. And even sitting here and listening to you about that stuff, do we even realize that Jesus Christ was the real embodiment of self-esteem? Like his whole life self-esteem.
He's the word.
Like let's say he came into the world like just any of us. With the myth, people don't believe say like it be real. Let's say we are one of those people. And we say, he just born with just anybody, just any normal kid. Nigga believe himself, say, yeah, Charlie, I be God in son. If the Almighty in son be me.
Yeah.
Where he say, you no go live in Pekins hungry. I will not leave or forsake you. All the things he promised for the Psalms inside. All the things he promised mankind for the Psalms inside. All those things. Where he believes say, yeah, if he be son of God,
Too
yeah,
solid.
we are too entitled to all these blessings. Why? And he stood by to the cross, bro. He did see inside though. Boat, single boat. Giddy, 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 waves did. He bed, Charlie. He bed. He knows he go die for cross top. You understand? Self-confidence. He knows he go die for cross top. So the boat, whatever go happen, he go reach shore. So he
And
bed.
you know,
You
and
get him?
and
Forward, would like to emphasize on a particular point that we left specially. That point is ask questions. Before the internet, before we got comfortable, before everything happened, people used to ask a lot of questions because we believed that there are ways and principles that coaches this life. And if you need to step into a territory or even go to a higher stage of your life, some might be when somebody is going to get married, when somebody gets a new job, when somebody meets someone new, they go back home and say, I did this, I want to marry, I got a new job, I met someone new, I want to understand this person. You ask questions. We have refused as a generation to ask questions. We lean into our own understanding. Some things are not even supposed to be prayed about. Una now tifie na umbonono. If you are not knowing answers to certain things you are going through in life, that friend that you don't actually talk to about your real issues, that friend might know a good solution to certain things that is baffling you. We should be encouraged to ask questions. We should speak a lot often about things that challenges us. We shouldn't keep it to ourselves. It's not an individual, journey, even though it's self-esteem. It is people that give us that sense of self. And in order to get that sense of self, we should be able to ask people questions.
If you ask questions to, they go feel like you.
Oh, you don't always get the truth whilst
True.
asking questions. That's why you have gut instinct. So we
Okay.
cannot create our own. Agye wo nso sɛnea yɛka na wonyɛ w'adwene sɛ ɔde wo ho bɛma Awurade. Ɛnka sɛ wode wo ho womfa wo ho mma Awurade nso a, that the fact that you have given yourself to Christ doesn't mean you shouldn't ask questions too. You as an individual need to be programmed to ask questions. We don't know all, you know. So when you accept that I don't know all, that even gives you a sense of esteem.
yeah,
Because meaning, Majia say meaning, you can't insult me with it.
true.
So I'm willing to ask because me him. And then they will confidence me so bad. Me ni mutina me bisa. You want to say we Ebema ni panipua ye intrigued, to answer your questions for you because you don't know. If you can't go to somebody and ask them a question like you are just trying to beat their intelligence, that's up to you. That's not how you go about it. You ask because you don't know. And if you genuinely don't know, you get your answers back. Do you
True
have
vibe.
anything
True vibe. True vibe.
Yeah.
True vibe.
add to
Yeah,
it?
and
That become hard vibe.
you mentioned about what if the answers are not true.
Wrong. Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah, I think before we got to this point, we also discussed about being able to have a spiritual warfare. If it's true, we can be able to tell when she mentioned the gut instincts to. So if the answers are wrong, it, it will depend on how you also carry it. If it's true, it will depend on how you also carry it. Say wrong na so construction na say who experience now say same way I'm farmer. The next time you move from the experiences builder, so asking questions and also not getting the answers directly doesn't mean that it didn't work. It means that you learned something in a different way.
Through the experience.
Yeah, through the experience, not through knowing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So experience can also nurture you to be very self.
When you ask questions to be very very conscious on the answers you are going to get. When you are looking for answers to for your bad insecurities or your bad stuff in your head, you're going to get answers to for that too. But the real answers always goes against yourself. Yeah, the real answers, the truth always goes against yourself. You hear the truth and be like, oh, because you are going to be judged by the truth. The person will tell you that thing and you'll be like, oh, okay, Charlie. But it be true. Just because it's against you doesn't mean it's not true. It be true. Accept it, or you go then come back and can't realize it be true. You understand? So in building your self-esteem, you for ask questions. By in asking questions to you for know say you have your own discerning ability to know the truth from the false information.
Yeah.
Because already you know. Nobody say you don't know, you've just disconnected and you're trying to get yourself back. So you know what is right for you to do already, naturally. You've just lost it and you're trying to get yourself back. So in that process, go back to yourself esteem. You understand? You will go back to yourself. You will realize say the answer you get, it be wrong or it be right for you.
So,
You understand?
like, giving a scenario, like you are a matured adult, you have reached a place whereby you want to start, practicing being in a relationship. So you're kind of meeting new people, going out, speaking to people, hanging out, and eventually maybe you meet a girl or you meet a guy. Then deep down you know that whatever let you meet this guy was through sometimes infatuation or trauma bonding. Wunni mo akume mu sɛ ɛnyɛ ɔdɔ. You know that maybe it's because this guy you have a soft spot of, or maybe this person is rich, maybe this person is well to do, that's why you find yourself there.
Popular,
But
popular.
yeah, but you have been able to convince yourself that this is a relationship I'm trying to have that is genuine. What are now?
And you pay for it too.
You've lied to yourself, and it's going to be evident. It's going to be evident. You need to be able to ask correct questions. It's where no nipa ni say who de ne ko fie na ma me hwe wo no hwe ni pay no bisa say na kofi ana ama
Kwame.
nipa ya wakwa kwame nipa ya wakwa kofa ni we are sure so betum ne natena koso no ye panimu your tena ho behu no ugina wakra ho. So what the nekono bisa say asumesi ade na be we are sure so betumi handle also bra for heavy no akwa what I say obisawa obisawa you be like oh ma betumi handle. You didn't ask the question, you brought the person to be accepted into tuma. It's because of how you had to portray yourself to your mother at that moment. Because ka odi nipa ne ba ese ma me share so mesi wo hwa oye ma me a e bia o ma me ka cho se kwa me woni nyansa ni pe die abia brabo ahya se ya na obetumi na tena brabo ye din a ultimate na ho. The older person would get time to explain things to you, but now the fantasy now they are fake it say when you aje, then your parents accept okay when you aje they are so when you jemu ni epe no me di we chia ko ye bibia na fo ni nipa ne kotenai just because you didn't ask questions. And these are mistakes that you are making. We have stopped asking for counseling. We have stopped asking for guidance. But everybody around us is put around us for that. Maybe a cycle now. If people don't even ask questions because of the kind of cycle they've created for themselves. When you say cycle, no woman, no, Papa be any. I could she fought so no one perform before. Into a head and go besides our question. When that genuine answer.
Yeah.
The self should reflect in whoever we hang out with. And if yourself is great, anybody around you
Please
is
repeat
great.
that. Repeat.
Reflect on who you even hang out with. So if you know yourself, you know that people that you are hanging around is positive. Enti edwuma ho him remu na me kofre El Shaddai na me kofre Sebastian minimum akuma mu say they wouldn't look at me because it is me Edna. They will look at what is best for me. They will look at me in the image of their self. If they were in my shoes, what would they have done? And because they have a sense of self, they would also want to do the best. Into Obeka Chem so Edna, maybe na moya wotu idie. And so na many kebeya jai efate niswo, but it's not what is right, you know. So ask questions. Be ready to get answers that you are not comfortable with. Be ready to cry over certain answers. Be ready, but as soon as you accept that that is the truth, you sleep with it. You start working towards it. You make changes. But if you don't ask, you don't grow, and you never reflect. Thank you.
Very, 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 very good
That's very
explanation.
clear. Yeah, that's very
Very
So, wrapping up tonight, we'd like to talk about the last point, which is workout, meditating, swimming, painting, anything that has to do with you consistently doing something. You need to work on your physical aspects too if you want to build confidence. And if you want to go to the internet, search how you can curb it, how to manage it, But workout is important in our day-to-day lives. So today, I hope you enjoyed this show. I hope we gave you everything
yeah.
that you needed. I hope I shed more light on things that you have been yearning for answers. Thank you for joining us today. I'd like to give El and Sebastian a chance to say goodbye to you lot. They have nothing to say. So again, go check out Carl Mustang's song, Not for the Trappers. No
no
love for
love
the
for the
trappers.
trappers,
No love for the trappers.
Yeah.
Sorry. No love for the trappers. Kindly check it out, Say hi.
Yeah.
Camouflage Studios, Conscious Vice
Palm
Only,
records.
Palm
Palm records for
Records,
real.
for
Yeah.
next season, Cal Mustang,
Stay
everybody
tuned,
around
conscious
here,
vibes
yo.
only.
We